I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday to share with you some of the things that I'm working on and also, specials that are happening and all of that. And I know tonight is New Year's Eve, so thank you so much for joining me. Maybe you're getting ready to go out, maybe getting uh, all dolled up, or maybe just going to be hanging around and watching the ball drop on TV if you even make it that far. Whatever you're doing, I wish you a Happy New Year. But thank you for joining me right now so that I can share with you my paper share. And not just my paper share, but it's also a sneak peek at everything, all the papers that are going to be available as of January 6th. So without further ado, let's head over to my desktop. So when I do a paper share, I take a lot of time to make sure that it's something that is valuable to you. So I package it up. So I get all the papers, I cut them up, and then I sort them out, and I put them into a nice little package that you open. You can see I've already opened mine. I did make one for myself as a sample that you can see. So it comes in that cello bag, and so that during transit it can't get wet or anything. So just so you know, if it's going through the mail, that's how it will look. So what I also do is I create a divider for each set of the designer series papers. And the reason I do that is, number one, if you just got a pile of designer series paper, you're not going to necessarily know which package it's a part of. And the whole idea behind a paper share is to be able to see all the different designs and decide which ones are worth the money for you to invest in. And we know that, you can't have everything, but in this case, you can. They're just 6x6 sheets of everything. So as you can see on each label, in no particular order, I must say, but it has the number, so that if you want to go in and just order it with the number, it has the name and also the paper size, because sometimes it's 6x6 and sometimes it's 12x12. And then as of the website, our Stampin' Up! Website, I use that information to put the colors that are contained within the designer series paper. Now, when you get the package of paper, it may or may not have every single color listed, especially on the ones that have a lot of colors, but you will find that I will list all of them on the little label that goes on there. So sometimes the lettering gets a little bit small, but it's still worth it to have. So that way what are the colors. We have a lot of greens. How do you know which green it is that's in your paper? So what I want to do now is just flip through this entire stack of designer series paper. You can see it's 147 sheets, but it's not going to take us long. We're just going to flip right through them, okay? So we're going to start with Made with Love, and you can see what I use for my dividers are just the inserts in the back of the designer series paper that helps to hold the packaging together. So why not reuse it and put it in, when we're doing our packaging of paper? So that's why you'll see writing on the back. So anyway, this is one of the designs that is great for Valentine's Day. And you can see, actually, you get two of each of the double-sided designs. So this is one side, and this is the other side. So I try to put them together. This one only has one. See, that's the second side because I made a sample with that. I try not to take out too many so that you could see. All right, so we're going through. I know it's a little bit fast, but this package has 12 different designs. But look at all the little hearts and all the red and the pink. So if you are a person that needs a lot of Valentines, this 12x12 paper is for you. Then this, I think, is my favorite paper, or at least some of the sheets. This is Splash of Sparkles. It's a specialty paper. And you can see all the beautiful colors and then also that gold. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Makes a great birthday card. It's got great, it's lots of different shades. So depending upon the papers that you might have on hand, these might go with it. Look at that. Isn't that great? So anyway, so just flipping through, and you can see these can be used as backgrounds for a focal point or for sentiment, right? So anyway, lots of uses for that paper. And like I said, I just love the little glitter, You know me. Then the next one is called Love Notes. So this is a little bit different. So it's also themed for Valentine's Day, but this is actually 6 by 6 paper. And look, you can cut these apart to make your Valentines, okay? And you can see that the two sides are different, okay? So that you can cut them down based upon what you need. And also, you also get, I can't remember how many of each design, but there's a lot here, okay? So you get several of each sheet, and then you've got some solids that could be used for Valentine's Day or beyond. We've got, look at that blue gingham, isn't that great? So we have that. So you can see this has a different design on the back. So you can do a lot with this, and I happen to be doing a Valentine's Day class with a nonprofit, and we are going to use this and along with the first designer series paper to make our Valentines. The next one is called Lovely and Beautiful. It's also a specialty paper. And the specialty paper just means that it has something extra in it on one side. So you can see this, I think, is my favorite paper ever, maybe. Look how beautiful that is. The muted colors, I just love it. And that's the back side. And I did make a sample with that one, so I only have one there, but that's beautiful as well. So look how pretty. And this, I love when we use Calypso Coral. This one is just gold. You could color in these flowers. So pretty. And then we've got that. So we'll go through. We got another one with those beautiful fresh freesia. Oh, the color looks a little funky, but that's fresh freesia in there. And we've got some, I'm always looking for leaf greenery that doesn't overwhelm, and that's going to be a perfect one. So I don't know why I keep flipping them over. Let's just do it like this. And you can see the two sides of that paper. The next one is also unusual, and this is square snippets. It comes 12 by 12, but I cut it down to 6 by 6. So I try to be mindful of the way that I cut it down. So we've got, this is one side. Actually, I'm going to have to flip these. So we've got that and this. And again, this has several sheets of the same one. So you will be getting at least 2 of each. I believe it's actually 3 of each. And that way you can, so the designs are all different, and you can cut these apart to make your cards. And I'm going to show you some of that with a real life sample. When we're done here, we'll make a quick card. Aren't these great? You know, you may not like every single one of them, but that's okay. You can use the back as your, because you always need some neutrals. So again, I am flipping some of them over. There we go. So you've got those neutrals on the back, which is going to be great to balance out your card making or your scrapbooking. This one is called Nature Walk. It's 12 by 12. I've seen a lot of great things done with this paper. So this is one side. This is the other. This is one side, and this is the other. So these are some of those great greens that we're always looking for. This is one side, and this is the other. Nice neutral. We've got some pretty peacock, and the other side has old olive or mossy meadow or both. This has secret sea, and look at those blues, so pretty. So again, I know I'm flipping through kind of quickly, but you get the idea. Check out this Easter Joy. Now this is also specialty paper, and what I did was for the specialty sheets, first of all, look, it has a gloss. This is a glossy paper, okay? And then some of the sheets break down into pieces. And so what I've done is I'll be breaking out the pieces into 4 different sets, and each person will get a set, and they won't be exactly the same. And that's just for the smaller pieces. So the bigger pieces, you can see there's a little bit of gold going on in there. I don't know if you can see that even with the gloss. Okay, and this is the reverse side. So look at those little bunnies. Aren't they cute? So cute. Then we've got some tulips, and then this is the back side. And a lot of these, I think I like the back side better. So obviously this is going to be great for Easter cards, especially playful ones, but can be used for lots of other things. I just love this for any spring card. Look at that. That's a great plaid. Those are my colors. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So that is the designer series paper for Easter. So next we get to Beach Boardwalk. Now this is also another one of those that is designed with some bigger pieces. So this is actually half of a sheet of I'm not exactly sure how that cuts down. I guess there are four sets of these, and everybody gets 3 of them, right? 4, yeah. And so we have these palm trees. So I've cut them so they're a little bit different size, but that's so that everybody gets a full set that they could use on their card. These are 4 inches wide by 6 inches tall. And then we have these look like punch outs, but they're not. These are tickets. And let's see, the reverse side of that is this. And then we've got some water because, go to the beach, you get some water. And we've got some maybe sky going on there. We've got some little suns. And then some more sky, maybe at sunrise, right? We've got some pretty pinks going on there. Some more palm trees. I guess they go this way. All right. And then our final sheet has this nice pink and this little assortment of things that you find on the boardwalk. And being a beachy girl myself, I love the idea of that designer series paper. The next one is called Mixed Up Patterns. This too, it comes in 12 by 12, and you can see that it just has a whole bunch of different patterns that you'll be able to use on so many different kinds of cards. Kind of hard to see that one. Anyway, we got that. Got some polka dots here. Got some green. So these mixed up patterns are definitely mixed up, and it's great just to have a basis of some fun, fundamental patterns that you can use as backgrounds and accents for that to go around your focal point to bring the attention to that. All right, get that stripe. That's my favorite out of this pack for sure. Can you tell what my themes are? The next set is called Lovely Blossoms. This also has some of that, some of those pieces that you can cut out to make smaller pieces to add to your cards. And so I've cut them down to make it as fair as possible. And not everybody gets the same ones, but everybody gets a nice little assortment of those, so I've cut those for you. But then we get to the paper itself. So look how pretty that design is, right? And then you can always use these backgrounds. So this one, you're actually getting 3 of 4 different designs. So you can see that's the front, that's the back, and that's the front again. And look at that one. Isn't that great? Front, back, and then front again. So still 12 sheets of each, but because there are more sheets of each design, that's how you're going to mix that up. Next one is called Pleasant Patterns. This is also a specialty paper, and this one is shiny. And this one, you get 2 sheets. They are one-sided, okay? So the back side is white. So look at that. Isn't that great, those colors on there? So I think that's Coastal Cabana and maybe Shy Shamrock or Summer Splash. What a great combo, right? And then these pinks, how beautiful is that? So I think that's what maybe Pretty in Pink and Bubble Bath. I'm not sure. And then a darker, not exactly sure. Actually, why don't we check? Go to the videotape. It is Peach Pie. This one's Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, and Pretty in Pink. So it's only telling you one of the colors, but that's okay. Probably because the shade, the way it's shaded, can't really define what this next color is. So we've got that going on. Then we have our Natural Hues paper, and this is, again, it's a specialty paper. And look at the texture on this. And you can feel it. It's definitely something that it only comes with 6 sheets in the pack. Actually 3 sheets, and you get one, so you're going to get 1 square of each. So you're going to use it sparingly. You may not stamp on this, but it definitely will be a nice accent with whatever your project is. And then we have our Pastel Shimmer specialty paper. And so check this out. I love shimmer paper. And this is a little bit different. Look how it's shiny that way, but it's not glitter paper, okay? So it's totally smooth. So we've got the pink We've got some yellow. So it's not a gold, it's a yellow. And then we've got this nice blue, maybe pool party or coastal cabana, right? And so this I think goes really well with the Easter paper, right? But you can use it on anything. And then finally, so there are 14 different packs of paper. So this is number 14. This is Cute as a Bug, and it is cute as a bug. So this is the paper. Let's see. I think I pulled some of these out. So I'm going to have to flip some of these over. We've got this one. You'll see that one again later. And then this is one side, and this is the other. Look at these little guys. How cute, right? And we've got that's one side, and this is the other. More cute little buggies. So we just saw that. And then we have this side, whoops, which can also be on the other side cut down. So this comes as a whole bow, so you can use those for focal points on a card or backgrounds on a card. And look at that. Isn't that cute? So you've got a whole design, and you would, to make it a card size, you would need to cut this a little bit. So normal card front is 5.5 by 4.25. So this is 4 inches, but this would have to be just trimmed on the sides to get down to 5.5. And that's the reverse side of that. So you can see those are a little bit different, right? So you'll get an assortment, so not exactly that. So, okay, that is the whole stack, right? Isn't that awesome? So that's a lot of paper to work with. Now, I charge $52 for my paper stack plus $8 shipping in the U.S. only. And you need to order this by January 3rd, and I'll put the link in the comments for this. So what you're saying, okay, that's great. I can see all the paper, and so why do I need to have it? Well, you know, if you don't want to invest in a whole lot, but you want to make some cards, let's go ahead and talk about how maybe you might do that. So first of all, any of these 6x6 papers can be cut down to be the background on a card front. And I'm always looking to do that whenever I can, just because it just pulls everything together, and it's very easy to just accent with whatever else you've got going on. So here's a cute little Valentine that uses the Be Mine suite, and I just pulled that out and whipped this up in very quickly. Another thing that you can do is, and I will include this in the packages that you would receive if you order this paper share. But this is a one sheet wonder, and this is a class that Stampin' Up! Did not that long ago, and they provided this same template, and you just cut the paper. You cut a 6x6 sheet of paper into squares that are those, or pieces that are those size. So I took some of that. I took one 6x6 square of the Cute as a Bug, and you can see this template is not to size, but this is a 3x3. This is the 1.5 by 5.5, and all of these are going to go and perfectly match, be able to be put on a card, and so that they all can go together. Now that I've shown you what you can do with it, and I just want to point out one thing, because it's just the cutest thing ever. Look at this little ladybug reading. Isn't that the cutest little guy? Anyway, had to show that. So what kind of things can you do with all these pieces? Well, this is a sampler that somebody did a long time ago. So you can see this is old paper, but this is something I had on hand. And it showed where we used the 3-inch square here. We used the 4 1.5-inch squares here. We use that strip here, and we use the 3 strips from the bottom here. So those are just 4 basic designs that you could do with one sheet of Designer Series paper. Now remember, the Designer Series paper has backside, so you can mix and match. So if you wanted to, it depends on the paper, or you could cut the pieces and then mix and match 2 different sheets of paper and to get more cards. So there are a lot of things that you can do, but I'm going to do a quick and easy card right now so that you can see just how fast, and you'll be able to get out of one sheet of the Designer Series paper that I'm using, you can get 2 cards. So You can see I've been here working. So I've got a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock, and I'm going to take a piece of white and put it on the inside. So you do need to have some cardstock on hand to work with to balance it out. If you just have white, you can just use white. Oh, things are slipping. Giving away just how messy my desk is. It was nice and neat just the other day, but that doesn't last long. Okay, and so then, remember that gorgeous paper I told you about before? Had to use it, right? I just had to use it. So what I did was I trimmed it to 5¼ inches, and then I cut it in half. So this is a 3-inch strip. And so I'm going to put this on the right side of the card. Now what I could have done is just cut the other 3-inch strip into a 1-inch strip to use on this card, but I didn't want to do that. So I decided just to pull out a color that's in the Designer Series paper. So I'm going to use that Petal Pink. And I've got a strip of Petal Pink. This is the 2-tone cardstock. I just happen to have some. It is a scrap from my drawer. I have lots of scraps in every color. And I'm going to just put this on the side. So rather than making it a 4-inch background, 4 by 5¼ like on this card, I made it 3 by 1 by 5¼ and so now I can get 2 cards out of this. This one can only get 1 out of a sheet, but that's okay because this paper comes there, will all go together, so that's also a great thing. Anyway, so we've got that, and so then we just need to add a sentiment, and of course we're going to just stamp it on a little piece of white, and no, we're not. We're just going to show you the final result. And so all I did was stamp. This is Simply Said stamp set, which has been available. It's in the main catalog. Hey, Beth, how are you? And I just stamped on a strip of white that I had in my drawer, and then I grabbed a little bit of gold because this has gold in it, and I wanted to put a little bit of gold. And I might actually go back and add a thin strip of gold to cover up the seam here, but that's just me because I just can't let it go. You could also add some gems. I didn't want to add too many gems because I didn't have the right kind of, I would want to match the gold shine perfectly, and I didn't have anything to do that. But anyway, it just goes to show how simple it would be to use all of that Designer Series paper. And if you did designs like this, if you have 147 sheets of paper and you cut them all in half, that's twice the number. This paper, Kylie, is, I got to look because I haven't memorized them yet, but it's right here because I have my labels, right? It is lovely and beautiful specialty 12 by 12 paper. So it'll be available on January 6th. So, but it is also part of my paper share. So again, thank you for taking a look at all the different things. And again, and remember, you'll get this template in your package if you design, if you order it. And so I have a link set up so that you can go and just fill out a Google form, and then I will send you a bill, if you will, for it. And I take PayPal, I take Venmo, and a credit card. So I'll just go back and forth with you to see what is best for you. But I'm excited because I'll be able to order all this on Tuesday and get that out to you as soon as possible. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But for now, Happy New Year. Enjoy your evening and wishing you all the best for next year. And hopefully I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.